Okay, y'all. Uh, there's a fight coming up, right? Two fights coming up. These are big fights. You got Robbie Lawler versus Nick Diaz. The return of Nick Diaz. Uh, and then you got Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder. Now, Tyson Fury, it's, it's cool to get excited for these fights. These are big fights. But at the same time, it's kind of hard to get excited for these fights because at the same damn time, you got Nick Diaz who hasn't fought in 6 years, and then you got damn Tyson Fury who keeps pulling out of this Wilder trilogy and is known for tampering with his gloves and cheating. I mean, y'all can say what you want. The evidence, it's there. Just you got a phone, look it up. No boxing glove should be able to flap like that, unless, of course, he took the padding out of it. And that's what Tyson Fury did. He took the padding out the glove, and that's yeah. So it's basically like he was hitting Wilder bare knuckle. Just disgraceful, man. And the fact that he gets away with this shit, and the media covers it up. Only the news stream media, the internet, is the one that's exposing them. It's so sad. Uh, and I was a Fury fan, you know. I was a fan. When he beat Wilder, I was like, yeah, you've done it. But the fact that he cheated, that just ruins the whole thing. Then he keeps ducking Wilder and finding excuses to get out of the trilogy. He's just going to pull out again. He's going to slip on a banana peel and pull out again. That's what Fury's going to do. He's going to slip on a banana peel and pull out again. And I don't even like Wilder. I don't. I don't even like Wilder. I lost respect for him too before the Fury fight when he said he wanted a body on his record, meaning he wanted to kill somebody in the ring. You don't say shit like that, and he wouldn't have said it unless he meant it. It's fucked up. But for Fury to cheat like he did, like Fury went in there to try to kill this man. It's so fucked up, man. Both of these guys are pieces of shit. So I really don't care who wins, to be honest. I just don't give a fuck. I kind of want Fury to win because of what Wilder said, but Fury has been cheating for a long time with tampering with the gloves and shit. So I don't know. But with this Nick Diaz fight, he's done fought Robbie Lawler in the past. He knocked. Can't remember if he knocked him out. He knocked Robbie Lawler out, or he TKO'd him. But it was one of those things. And then his younger brother Nate Diaz, who I'm also a fan of, also fought Robbie Lawler and beat him in a split decision. So both the Diaz brothers already have a win over Robbie Lawler, who is also a great fighter. But at the same time, Robbie Lawler's been kind of on a losing streak. And uh, Nick Diaz ain't had a fight in 6 years. Nate Diaz has been on a losing streak, but he's still been putting up great fights, so I'm not going to complain too much. But Nick Diaz ain't had a fight in 6 years. This could go really bad. This could go really bad. I'm hearing that Nick Diaz can't even make weight for the fight. That's a bad sign. Nick Diaz ain't had a fight in 6 years and he can't make weight. Bad sign, man. I know Nick Diaz beat this guy before, but he ain't had a fight in 6 years, man. Robbie Lawler, even though he's been getting beat, he's still been active. And if Nick Diaz ain't taking this shit seriously, not to mention he ain't had a fight in 6 years, then this could be bad for Nick Diaz. Nick Diaz could get knocked out. I can't believe I'm saying this, but Nick Diaz could actually get knocked out. Ring rust is a real thing. Look at Conor McGregor. He was out for like 2 or 3 years, and it's like the sport has passed him by. Nick Diaz has been out for 6 years. Heck, Nate Diaz was out for 3 years, and look at what happened to him. He did good against Anthony Pettis, but he got cocky, called out Masvidal, and Masvidal fucked this shit up. Gave him a beatdown. And to be fair, the ref maybe shouldn't have stopped it, but that was a bad cut. It was only going to get worse. If the ref wouldn't have stopped it, Nate Diaz might not have been the same after that. You know, he might not have he just might have not have been the same after that. So the ref probably did Nate Diaz a favor. But Nate Diaz has had one fight since then. It was against Leon Edwards. And I'm hearing he got beat most of the rounds in that fight too. He's bleeding and shit. But Nate Diaz did clip him. He did clip Leon Edwards there at the last round and rocked him. But instead of going in for the kill, he did his thing to where he does the taunting shit and points at him. You know, classic Nate Diaz. But he should have finished him. But he didn't, so it went to decision. Leon Edwards wins. I mean, I can't complain too much because Nate Diaz did rock him and could have finished him. So Nate Diaz is proven. He still got it, but he's just not the same as he was. But he still got it. He's still a threat to be taken seriously. Nick Diaz ain't had a fight in 6 years, man. Ring rust is a real thing. It's a real thing. Nate Diaz took a couple years off, and guess what? Although he's still a threat and to be taken seriously, he's still good, he's still elite, he's still not the same fighter as he was. Conor McGregor, probably still, I'd say an elite fighter, maybe top 10 fighter, but he's not the same as he was. And it's like the sport's passed them by. People have the cheat code. They know how to beat him, especially now. And, you know, it's just been embarrassing for Conor McGregor. Like, there's not too many places Conor McGregor can go from here. I mean, he keeps losing. All the big fights are gone. Manny Pacquiao, that fight's gone. Which Manny Pacquiao would have fucked this shit up. The Masvidal fight with Conor, that's gone. Usman fight, that's gone. Like a lot of these fights for Conor, they're gone now because he keeps getting embarrassed. He's not the same fighter. The sport's passing him by. And then, on top of that, he's getting punked by MGK. Like, come on, man. Come on. Conor, you're embarrassing yourself. If you still got respect for Conor McGregor, after all the dumb shit he has said and done, and is continuing to say and do, like, then that means there's a problem with you. I mean, come on. He can't even back his trash talk up anymore. He's like Woodley, Tyron Woodley. Why talk shit and act like a tough guy if you can't back it up? If you're just gonna go in there and get your ass whooped. Uh, fuck. I mean, fuck. At least Conor throws punches and is willing to go in there and risk it and stand and bang. Woodley just fights like a scared little bitch. But people could argue, hey, Woodley's not getting finished. He's going the distance. While Conor's getting knocked out, legs snapping, and it hurts Conor because he was out for a long time, and then he's out again for an injury. It's not a good look, man. But Conor's a good example. He was out for a long time. He comes back, has that bullshit fight with Cerrone, which is basically just like a tune-up fight. Something to make him look good again. Trick us all into getting back on the Conor McGregor bandwagon, and then he gets the shit beat out of him by Dustin Poirier. Not once, but twice. Now, where does Conor go from here? Well, there's only really two things he could go. He could have another Poirier fight, which Dana believes he deserves, but I don't. Because even if his ankle wouldn't have snapped, he still would have got the shit beat out of him. I mean, fuck. Let's just keep it real, Dana. Conor is not beating Dustin. It makes no sense to give him another fight. So to be fair, the only fight that really makes sense for Conor is the Nate Diaz trilogy, which we keep getting promised, and we still have yet to make it happen. Let's make this shit happen before Nate Diaz gets seriously fucked up and injured and he can't fight no more. Let's hurry and make this shit happen. Conor's already dealing with career-ending injuries. Let's stop fucking around. Let's make this trilogy fight happen, and whoever wins, fuck it. That's how it is. I think Nate Diaz will beat his ass. If I'm just being real. But still, we as the fans, we still deserve this fight. They have promised us this fight. Nate Diaz and Conor have promised us this fight for years. And it still has yet to happen. Now with Nate Diaz, there's still fights, you can make for him. Like, for him and Dustin, that would be a good fight. I think Dustin would beat him. I mean, fuck. Nate Diaz can't beat Leon Edwards. What makes me think he can beat Dustin Poirier? What, you expect me to believe Nate Diaz is going to go back down to 155? I mean, it's a lot of weight to cut. I feel like his energy is going to be drained, and already that's an advantage for Dustin, but I think it could be a good fight. But with Conor, I just don't know, man. If he gets beat, suffers another embarrassing loss, then we could be looking at a Chuck Liddell situation here. Or Woodley situation. I don't want to give Woodley too much criticism because it's not like he was just losing to, bums or just getting, knocked out and TKO. No, he was in there with killers. Killers of the welterweight division, the top of the top, the top of the cream of the top, like top-notch contenders, killers in the welterweight division, and he was going the distance. He was getting his ass kicked, but he was going the distance. Except for the Kobe fight and the Luque fight. Luque fight, he got submitted, It's real easy to get submitted, so, it's still not a knockout or a TKO. So I'm still giving him somewhat credit because it's still not a TKO or knockout. So I'm still giving him at least some fucking credit. But with the Kobe fight, Kobe whipped his ass. Woodley talked all this shit. Black Lives Matter, this, Black Lives Matter, that. Well, yeah, Black Lives Matter, they do matter. But so does white lives. All lives matter. Mexican lives, Hispanic lives, Latino lives, Chinese lives, Japanese lives, white lives, black lives, all lives matter. Not just black. All lives matter. And anybody who gets pissed off at that is a racist. Because they're just trying to say just black lives matter. No, all lives matter. I mean, fuck. But besides that, Woodley was talking all this Black Lives Matter shit, you know. I mean, you know, Black Lives Matter. Yeah, all lives matter. But he was talking all this stuff and uh, being political and talking all this tough guy talk to Kobe, and then he gets his ass whipped 5 whole rounds. And then Kobe actually finishes Woodley by breaking his ribs. Dude, you cannot talk that tough guy shit and go in there and get your ass whipped. And then, but then again, it was against Kobe, so I'm still giving him some credit. He still went all the way up into the last round, the 5th round, and then he got finished, so I'm still giving him credit. But let's talk about the Jake Paul fight. Woodley talked all this tough guy talk, and so did Jake, right? And then Jake Paul's team disrespected Woodley's mom. And what does Woodley do? Come time for the fight, he barely throws any fucking punches. Like, this dude disrespected your mom, dude, to your face. And you show up to fight like that? Dude, you're an embarrassment. You're a disgrace. You talked all this tough guy shit, and this dude disrespected your mom. And that's how you show up to fight for your mom's honor? By barely throwing any fucking punches? Wasting all of our time and all the people who actually paid money to see you whip Jake Paul's ass, and you just wasted their money and their time. I'm glad I didn't pay no money for this fight. I'm not even a Woodley fan, but I was rooting for you. And you do this. You got like, what, one good shot on Jake Paul? You got one good shot. And you rocked him and you didn't go in for the kill. You sat back and let him recover like a fucking dumbass amateur. This dude disrespected your mom, dude. And you had a chance to beat him. You barely threw any punches, and one of the few punches you did throw, you rocked him. And you had a chance to beat him. And you sat back and let him recover. Why is that? This dude disrespected your mom. And not to mention, he disrespected you in the press conference and in the weigh-in. He tried to take your hat. Like, come on, dude. You're an embarrassment. Woodley, I don't even give a damn if you fight again. You're a fucking embarrassment. And I know Jake Paul, promised you a rematch, but to be fair, you don't deserve a rematch. You just don't. Yeah, you did better than anybody else. Jake Paul's fault. That's not really saying nothing because Jake Paul ain't really fought anybody worth a damn. You was the first person he fought that was actually elite and worth a damn, even though you clearly washed the fuck up. And you had a chance to beat him, and you just... I don't get it. I don't get it. So many people was wanting you to beat Jake Paul. and you sat back and let him win rounds. You sat back and let him win rounds. Even when your cornerman was telling you, hey, you got to go in for the kill. You got to go for it. You throw punches. Throw the jab. You're losing this fight. He's ahead of you. He's winning rounds. Yeah, you about knocked him out in the 4th round, but you sat back and let him recover. You got to go for it. And what do? You don't even listen. You sat back, being patient, and you continue to let him win rounds. And then at the end of the last round, you throw your hands up. Like if you was going to win it. And then you think you deserve a rematch? You just wasted all of our time. Don't even get me started with Woodley, man. Don't even get me started. Don't even get me started. Another fucking victory for Jake Paul to boost his ego and let him talk more shit. And now look, Jake Paul, this motherfucker's talking shit, calling out Masvidal, being highly disrespectful. First of all, Jake, I know Masvidal got knocked out his last fight against Usman, but Usman is a killer. And Masvidal is a killer. This dude used to fight people in their backyards with Kimbo Slice. Now, Jake, you was a kid when he was doing this shit. And you think now, because you beat an out-of-shape YouTuber that didn't have a camp, and then you beat another YouTuber that was way smaller than you, for one. And then you beat a basketball player who's obviously has never boxed a day in his life. I don't even know if this dude had a fight before with the way he was fighting. But then you beat Ben Askren, not even a damn boxer or striker, a fucking grappler, wrestler who can't stand up and strike to save his life. And then you beat a washed up, non-passionate fighter. Jake, you're not that guy, dude. You got lucky with the last fight. You got lucky. Yeah, you won most of the rounds, but you still about got knocked out. This dude barely was an elite fighter, and he barely threw any fucking punches. He gave you that fight. Like, he barely threw any punches, and he still rocked your ass and about knocked you out. Now just think, if he really, really wanted to win the fight, he would have won. You would have got embarrassed. But because, the frozen one, Woodley, you win. But your luck's running out, dude. Your luck's running out. I'm telling you right now, if Dana White lets Masvidal fight you, if you talk this shit in the press conference, Masvidal will beat your ass right there in the fucking press conference, dude. You cannot talk shit like this to just any fighter. You just can't. And it pisses me off because you should know better than to talk to Masvidal like that. You know what he's capable of. Did you not see what he did to Nate Diaz? How about Darren Till? How about Ben Askren? He beat Ben Askren in 5 seconds. Granted, you beat him in 2 minutes, yeah. I mean, you dropped him with a good punch, I'll give you that, but Ben Askren got right back up and the ref fucking stopped it. So it was kind of controversial. Yeah, I'll give it to you, you would have beat him anyways. But still, it was controversial. But Masvidal beat him in 5 seconds. Knocked him clean out. Ben Askren didn't get right back up and the ref waved it off. No. Ben Askren was knocked out cold. Now, I think Jake's talking this shit because he knows Dana's not going to let Masvidal fight Jake. He's on the contract with UFC. But that's not what Jake doesn't realize is Masvidal ain't going to give a fuck. If he even runs into you on the street at an award show or whatever, hell, it could be at a UFC event. If he runs into you, he's beating your fucking ass. And there's nothing you can do about it. And if Logan wants a piece, Masvidal will fuck him up too. Both of y'all might be good, but you're not that good to talk shit to a fighter like Masvidal. It seems to me like both of y'all need humbled. Logan needs humbled again because he thinks because he went the distance with Floyd, he's that guy. Dude, you got quite a bit of some good punches on Floyd, but there was a size advantage. Let's not pretend like there wasn't. But Floyd still beat you. He still beat you, my guy. Logan, you have not won a fight yet. And let's be real. If Floyd did hit as hard as KSI did, you would have been running around the ring, you know, just like you was against KSI, scared to get hit. I mean, come on, let's keep it real. And then you say some dumb shit like, if the fight would have went on a couple more rounds, I would have knocked Floyd out. Logan, you wouldn't have knocked Floyd out. You would not have. There's plenty of great fighters that Floyd has fought that are way better than you, Logan. And they couldn't knock Floyd out. And yeah, I get it, Floyd's old, yeah, but he's still obviously pretty damn good because he's still good enough to beat you and then fuck your brother Jake Paul up backstage for taking his hat. But whatever. Y'all say whatever dumb shit y'all want. But I want to see Logan fight Anderson Silva. That's going to really be a reality check for both of y'all. Fight Anderson Silva, Jake. Or Logan. Both of y'all fight him. Anderson Silva will embarrass y'all. Y'all are going to be like Tito Ortiz lying unconscious in the middle of that ring. Face down, ass up, probably. I mean, y'all have to fight like elite competition. The more y'all win, the more people's going to want you to fight a tougher opponent. And Jake, I feel like he could possibly beat Tommy Fury. Tommy Fury's not really all he's hyped up to be. He's fought nothing but bums. And the last bum he fought, he didn't even look impressive. So, okay, you want to give Jake Paul one more easy win fight before he has to fight somebody that, you know, is going to be scary. Okay, go ahead. Put him up against Tommy Fury. But Logan. But after that, Jake, you're going to have to fight somebody that is going to, you know, whip your ass. Because KSI's not going to fight you. Let's just be real. That fight's not happening. KSI, he's not a fighter. He's not. Now, I'm a KSI fan, but let's be real. I'm a Deji fan too, and Deji, that last fight was embarrassing, my guy. If you're not going to get in shape, don't even bother wasting our time. I feel like he's getting in shape though now because I haven't seen him on YouTube since, but KSI's got other shit going on. He's killing it with the music. Why would he want to risk it all and go in there and possibly suffer a loss to Jake Paul. Why would he? It's a bad business decision. Even his friends and shit, the sidemen and all them were saying, don't fight Jake. Why? Because they don't believe he can beat Jake. They don't believe in him. They don't believe he can beat Jake as good as Jake is now. So they're saying, don't fight him. But KSI keeps claiming he's going to, but at the same time, he keeps making up all these excuses. Why? Because he doesn't want Jake to be able to spin it like, oh, he's scared to fight me now. He's ducking me. He's scared to fight me. Because KSI already knows that's what Jake will do because he's doing that right now as we speak. And KSI's fan base will believe anything KSI says. So if KSI says he's too busy and he can't do it, they'll believe it. Rather than just accepting the fact that KSI is too scared to fight Jake. KSI ain't had a fight in 2 years. And training and sparring in the gym is very different than actually getting in there and fighting. We'll be lucky if we even see KSI fight another YouTuber. We'll be lucky. We should take that as a W if we can get him to do that. Because this Jake Paul fight's not happening. It's just not going to happen. Maybe if Jake Paul gets knocked out cold, maybe KSI will step up and, do it. But even then, I still don't know. But if KSI was an actual fighter, like he claims, he'd be in there fighting. It wouldn't take no 2 years. He'd be able to do the music shit and still do the fighting. Hell, Jake Paul was dropping some fire music last year, and he had 3 fights that same year. And killed it. So, if Jake can do it, KSI can do it. KSI don't want to do it. For one, KSI has been multitasking his whole career. That's why he's so popular. He can do so many things and succeed at once. So, it's really not an excuse, to be honest. It's not an excuse. He does not want to fight Jake because he knows that window is past and he probably can't beat Jake now. He's got a long way to go. Jake's had like 5 fights since KSI has fought. That is a big deal. And KSI knows this. He knows this. But anyway, who knows? We might get to see it. Who knows?